begin by sharing with you part of a poem called The Annunciation by Denise Levertov. I invite you to listen, maybe close your eyes, and imagine what it was like for Mary, being in this room with the angel. What were her thoughts, her feelings, her fears, her hopes? Here's the poem. This was the minute no one speaks of, when she could still refuse. A breath unbreathed, spirit suspended, waiting. She did not cry, I cannot, I am not worthy, nor I have not the strength. She did not submit with gritted teeth, raging, coerced. Bravest of all humans, consent illumined her. The room filled with its light, the lily gloated, and the iridescent wings. Consent, courage unparalleled, opened her utterly. As I reflected on that poem, on this reading, I thought about how different this story is than the ancient Greek and pagan stories and some of our modern stories too. Stories where mighty gods are forcing their will onto weak humans. Stories in which power is a thing to be exercised to the fullest. But in this story, the angel waits for an answer. He even listens to Mary's question and explains what is coming. And Mary's answer, the answer for which heaven and earth are holding their breath to hear, is this. Yes, let it be to me as you have said. And what is it that is coming? This story, I think, should remind us of another story. Where else have we heard a story about a young woman who is alone and then a mysterious supernatural being comes to her and asks her a question, offers her a choice that will change her life and the life of her partner and the life of the world? I think the story of Mary and Joseph is also a retelling of the story of Adam and Eve. It is the story of a new creation coming. A new creation in which God has said yes to humanity, and which, unlike the old story of Adam and Eve, humanity has now responded with a yes to God. What is it that is coming? God will renounce his power and his glory. The God who is bigger than everything will become the smallest thing, a tiny human embryo. He will make himself to be completely helpless so that he can become the hope of the world. He will grow in this young peasant girl's womb and be born like any ordinary creature so that he can give birth to a new creation. Mary immediately understood all of this. She didn't yet know the depths of sorrow or the heights of joy that would come to her because she had said yes to God. But she did know that God was doing something new. And so she sings. He has cast down the mighty from their thrones and has lifted up the lowly. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty. That is the new creation that Jesus is bringing into being. A world completely different from the world we think we know. A world where there are not rulers and ruled. A world where everyone is welcome. A world where people are at peace with themselves and with their neighbors and with God. But that world is not as far off as Even though it's hard to imagine when the unemployment rate is north of 8%, and when we see our neighbors sleeping under highway bridges, and when there is so much hatred and anger and violence, even in this little Advent community, we see evidence of God's grace at work in us and around us. A few months ago, we witnessed the civil union of Todd and Justin, because in the kingdom that is coming, love wins out. We handed out free ice cream in the summer and free candy at Halloween, because in the kingdom that is coming, there is enough for everyone. And just last week, we had a fiesta to celebrate Elvia's new green card status, because in the kingdom that is coming, no one is illegal. Everyone will have a place. Everyone will be at home. Today's Old Testament reading asks about that. It asks, where will God live? Where will he establish his throne? Will he wander around making his home in an old tent? Maybe we should build him a magnificent cedar temple. But in Jesus, God chooses to dwell among us. In Jesus, God says yes to us. In Jesus, God says, join me. He is making the whole world his home. He started the work, remodeling the world even as we speak, tearing out and repairing everything that is worn down or broken. So pick up a hammer, grab your paintbrush, prepare the way.